Miranda, why aren't you getting your sister a wedding gift? And I heard that you're not even going to the wedding. You have to go, honey. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event.
Mom, you know why. She's marrying the man she stole from me. Do you expect me to go to her wedding with a smile on my face?
Oh, come now, Miranda. You've been saying the same thing this whole time. That happened such a long time ago. When are you going to get over it?
Excuse me? How could you say something like that to me?
So what if Abigail stole your boyfriend? It's your fault for letting him go in the first place, isn't it? There must have been a good reason why he chose Abigail over you. You're always acting like the tragic heroine in your own made-up fairy tale. Stop complaining and face the reality, honey. Let it go and move on already.
You can't just tell me to let it go. Do you know how much it hurts to have both your boyfriend and sister betray you? How could you say this is my fault?
I've been telling you since you were a little girl. If you want something, you're the one who has to go out there and make it yours. You can't just wait around for things to come to you. And it's your fault because you didn't marry Diego when you had the chance. What did you think was going to happen?
Seriously? We weren't even dating for that long, so why would we get married? That's not something you rush into.
You've always been like that since you were small. You'd save the strawberry on your cake until the end and someone else would eat it before you could get to it, and you'd weep about it for days. You'd watch someone buy the last donut in the shop before you could even order it and make a fuss over it. You always wait until the last minute, and that's why it's easy for people to take things from you.
Why are you acting like this someone isn't Abigail? She's the one who always took my stuff. She took the strawberry, the donut, and everything else. Abigail always snuck up beside me and stole stuff from me. So stop acting like everything's my fault. She should know not to take what's not hers.
It is your fault, though. If you didn't want her to take your strawberry, then you should have eaten it when you had the chance. You gave her the opportunity to eat your strawberry, and she took it. So whose fault is it? Yours. You've always been like this. You were never one to make decisions quick enough or get things done efficiently.
Come on. Why aren't you ever on my side? You're my mom. Aren't you supposed to get mad at Abigail when she steals things from me?
I've said this so many times now. I taught you how to take care of your own things on your own. You've got to be more independent. That's why I could never stand being around you.
I can't believe you just said that.
Anyways, you're not a child anymore, so you need to suck it up and move on. There must have been a good reason why she was able to steal your boyfriend. Abigail and Diego are really happy now, so you better not get in their way. Do you understand me?
Whatever, Mom. Miranda! How long are you going to sulk over this? Stop acting like a baby and accept my wedding invitation. You haven't told me if you were coming yet, and we need to make sure so we can have the right amount of catering. Mom's really mad, you know. If you want me to go to your stupid wedding, then why don't you apologize? I might reconsider. What? You want me to apologize? For what? I don't have anything to apologize about.
What do you mean, for what? What do you think? You need to come and apologize for taking my boyfriend away from me. As a matter of fact, Diego needs to apologize too. For cheating on me and leaving me for you.
Diego never cheated on you, though. He told me that he broke up with you long before he started dating me, but you just never wanted to accept it.
First of all, that's a lie. Second of all, if you don't apologize, then I'll probably never feel better about it. At this rate, there's no way I can go to your wedding. Can't you just think about my feelings for once?
You've got to be kidding! Why do we both need to apologize to you? I would never do that, nor would Diego. Neither of us did anything wrong, so get a grip.
What did you say to me?
Didn't Mom tell you already? It's your fault for sitting around and doing nothing. He was turned off by you. You weren't even going to marry him anyways. So he made the right choice in choosing me over you, Miranda. Of course Diego would leave someone like you. You don't even earn enough money and you smell like an old person all the time. You did this to yourself, so stop acting like the victim here.
What's that supposed to mean? I do earn money. And I smell like an old person? You can't talk to me like that. I'm your sister and I'm older than you.
It's true though, isn't it? It's crazy that you're still at that nursing home job after all this time. All that hard labor for such little pay. It doesn't make sense to me. You're out there taking care of people's grandmas and grandpas every day, so you always stink. You spend so much time with them. Their old people smell rubbed off on you.
Don't you dare make fun of my job. It might not pay as much as other jobs, but it's a really important job and I'm proud of it.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't care how hard it is. That's your problem because you chose it. And everything I said still stands. No wonder Diego came running to me as soon as he could. Nobody would want to be around you anyways. Besides, I'm younger, cuter, and I work at a huge company where I get paid loads.
I guess you do make more money than I do, but I still don't regret my career choice.
See? You do agree with me. So stop sulking and get over it. Come and celebrate at your little sister's wedding. Come on. Honestly, despite all of this bickering, I still really want you to be there. If you can't be happy when we're happy, then you've got to be the bigger person then, don't you?
I've never felt this humiliated before. First you make fun of my job, and now you're making fun of my feelings. If you keep living like that, karma's definitely going to catch up to you, Abigail. You'll see.
Karma, huh? I haven't done anything bad, so karma isn't catching up to anybody but you. Whatever, fine. Just make sure you show up to our wedding. Diego and I are so happy together, and I want to rub it in your face as much as I possibly can. Just kidding.
Miranda, you have to come to the hospital quick. Abigail just was in a car accident. Hurry! What? No way. OMG. It's right before her wedding. Oh, it's horrible. It looks like she and her friends went a little overboard at the bachelorette party today and drank too much last night. She was hungover and walked across the road on a red light and a car ran right into her. This can't be real. She's at the hospital now, right? What's her condition like now? She's still alive. Thank God. The doctor did say that she might not be able to use her legs anymore, though. Just come here, Miranda. OMG. Okay. Apparently the nerves in her legs are damaged, so she might not be able to walk or use her legs. She'll be paralyzed from the waist down, and she'll have to live in a wheelchair. OMG, Miranda. OMG, Mom, I'll be there soon. Why did she have to be so stupid? The wedding was supposed to be this weekend. Why did this happen to her? Oh, yeah. So what's going to happen with the wedding? I guess you can't have it when she's in the hospital, so are you going to cancel it? Yes. I called Diego and told him what happened here, and he said he canceled it. But you won't believe what Diego said to me. He says that if she's in a wheelchair, then he doesn't want to marry her anymore. He said he doesn't want to marry someone who's crippled. That's what he practically said to me. Oh, wow. That douchebag. But, Mom, I'm not going to lie. They're both still in their 20s. If I were him, I probably wouldn't want to have to take care of someone in a wheelchair either. I'd want to live my life, you know? He probably won't want to make that kind of commitment at his age. That's pretty life-changing. What are you saying here? Of course I have to make sure they get married. Or else your dad and I are going to have to be the ones to look after her for the rest of our lives. I'd hate for that to happen to us, too. What? Mom, what did you just say? Your father is going to retire soon, and we were looking forward to our empty nest and enjoying our retirement together. But now Abigail's going to be living in a wheelchair. I'd hate for us both to be finally retired and have to nurse our adult daughter. You can understand, right? You'd hate to take care of your own daughter? I thought she was your favorite child. Well, yes, she is, and we do love her. But we can't do something like this. It's impossible for us. So I had an idea, Miranda. I think we should leave her in your care. Now, how about that? Huh? Why me? Well, you're a nurse, aren't you? You know how to take care of people. Diego also told me that he wouldn't call off the wedding if you promised to take care of her instead of him, too. The wedding is canceled, but at least Abigail's marriage can be saved, right? I already told him you will anyway, so I have to thank you for that, dear. You're the best sister that Abigail could ever have, Miranda. What? Wait a second. You can't just go around and make promises like that without my permission. What makes you think I'd be able to care for her? Don't worry about it so much. You're a professional, aren't you? You take care of people all the time. Plus, she's your sister. There shouldn't be any problem for you. I'll even help out a little if you need me. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. We can split it so I'll do 10% of the work and you can do 90%. You went to school for this kind of stuff anyways. Excuse me? Oh no. Absolutely not. You might as well force me to do all the work. If we're doing this, it has to be 50-50. Come on, Miranda. Are you saying that you'd rather your little sister's marriage to be ruined over something silly like this? If you just cooperate like Diego wants you to, then we can save the marriage. That's all you have to do. Do you want your dad and I to take care of her for the rest of our lives? Slow down. That's not a good enough reason to just throw all this responsibility onto me without my prior knowledge or permission. But you're professionally trained in nursing. Who else are we going to ask? Do you expect us to pay some stranger to take care of her? Why would we do that when you can just do it for free? I know you can't do anything right, but can you at least try to make yourself useful to your family for once? We're counting on you because we know you're a professional. What? You're joking, right? Sorry, but I don't think I can do this. What do you mean you can't? It means no! What's so hard to understand about that? Being a nurse for the elderly already puts way too much on my plate. A lot more than you could ever imagine. There's no way I can take care of Abigail on top of keeping up with my job. How can you say that? You can't be so negative. I know you can do it if you really try. This family is in trouble. Don't you want to help? I don't think you have the right to ask for my help. I went through full-on depression after Abigail took Diego from me, and nobody cared. Nobody tried to help me when I needed it the most. What? Instead of trying to help me, you even tried to spin it around and make it my fault. You blamed me for having my boyfriend stolen by her. You were never on my side. But that's a whole different situation. That has nothing to do with this. I don't even know how you could compare that to Abigail's accident. All that happened to you was that you lost your boyfriend, but Abigail can't use her legs anymore. Permanently. She is paralyzed from the waist down. So how can you compare the two of you? Don't worry about it. Taking care of people is tough, but anyone in the family can do it. All you need to do is practice and you'll get used to it. You could even train and get certified for nursing if you wanted to. No, that's going too far. You already have that, so why do we need to get trained and whatnot? The only reason why you think it's difficult is because it's your family. You've seen them when they're healthy and active, so it's emotionally saddening. That's why people send their sick family members to facilities with nurses. Nothing can break your heart like seeing a family member in such a vulnerable state. Helping them use the bathroom and giving them baths and stuff like that. But Abigail has been nothing but a nasty, mean, horrible sister to me for years, and I definitely wouldn't want to take care of someone like that. What about her marriage? Nobody on Diego's side of the family can take care of her either, you know. He said that he'll only go ahead with the marriage if you took care of her. It doesn't have to be me, though, does it? You all just need someone, anyone, to take care of her. If that's the case, then why don't you do it, Mom? You're a stay-at-home mom and you're in the house all day anyways. It's just a couple of hours out of the day to take care of her. You should do this for your own daughter. But I can't! It takes a lot of physical strength, doesn't it? I'm not that strong and I've never had to take care of someone in a wheelchair before. There's a first time for everything, Mom. You'll need to learn a lot about nursing so you can get things done. Aren't you always telling me that? That I should stop sitting around and get things done? Maybe it's time that you start taking your own advice. What? All right, great. Good luck. I hope you figure out what to do. I'm sending you good vibes. Bye.
Miranda, please. Can you come and take care of me? I don't want Mom to help me to use the bathroom. It's weird. I'd rather you do it than her.
Oh, she's taking care of you already? I didn't think you'd be out of the hospital so quick.
No, I'm not out yet. I'm getting discharged next week. But Mom is getting the nurse to teach her some things about how to take care of me while she can. She's trying, but she's so bad at it and it's so embarrassing. I just hate everything about this. Please?
Aw, don't say that. She's doing her very best, isn't she? She just needs to get used to everything.
It's so humiliating to have them take care of me like this. I'm starting to feel really bad for putting them through this. My heart can't take this anymore. Can you please come and take care of me instead? I'll never ask you for anything ever again.
Can you pay me $5,000 a month? If you can do that, then I'd come over and take care of you.
What? Miranda, you want me to pay you? But I'm your sister. You want to take money from your own family?
You're the one who made fun of my low-income nursing job, so I could use the extra money, don't you think? I figured that you'd never make fun of my job ever again if you realized how tough it actually is. Besides, taking care of you is like a whole extra job, so I think I should get paid for it. That's my only condition.
No way! That's so messed up. Why do I have to pay so much? You're just helping me for a couple of hours a day.
Aren't you the one who needs the help? You want me to provide you a service, and I charge for the service. It's called supply and demand. Didn't you learn that in school? Price and salaries are determined by the balance of the two. That's how economy and business works.
5K is way too much. We're family. I'm your own flesh and blood and you're going to charge me 5K a month? That's really low. Even for you.
Oh, okay. Good luck with Mom, then. My asking price is 5K a month. So if you don't want to pay that, then I won't work for you. It's that simple.
Why are you being so mean to me? Mom even just said she doesn't want to do it anymore. If you don't come to take care of me, then Diego won't marry me.
Mom's already throwing in the towel, is she? That was fast. You're not even out of the hospital yet.
I asked Diego hundreds of times, but he said he won't marry me if there isn't anyone to take care of me. He won't do it, and nobody in his family will either. He said he wants a healthy wife, so he's still thinking about calling off the wedding. If I don't have anyone to take care of me, it's over for sure.
Wow, he's even gone that far? He's ready to move on, is he? That sucks, but such is life. Maybe you should move on too.
Such is life? What do you mean?
I'm just telling you what you and Mom always used to tell me before. Remember when you stole the man that I loved from me and kept telling me to let it go and move on? So you should practice what you preach and remember that when Diego leaves you, just try your best to get over it.
Miranda, why are you doing this to me? Please.
If you don't want Mom to take care of you, then I guess you have to either hire a nurse or learn to take care of yourself.
You're still young, so you can take care of yourself if you wanted to. There's tons of people out there in wheelchairs who take care of themselves, so I know you can do it too. It's probably better for you if you learn to take care of yourself anyways. That way you don't have to live your life relying on others.
Miranda, please come and tell me. Taking care of Abigail is a lot harder than I'd ever imagined. Her legs are so heavy when I have to help her use the bathroom, and it's exhausting. I'm not as young as I used to be, and it's really hard on me. I can't do this anymore.
Don't give up so easily, Mom. I know you're not a quitter. There are people your age taking care of their parents too, you know. You can do it.
I'm trying as hard as I can. Why did this have to happen to me? If only Abigail didn't try to walk on the road drunk, she wouldn't have gotten hit by that car.
Stop complaining about it. It's annoying. It's already happened, so you need to accept it.
What?
Let it go and move on. I'm here doing my best to move on, so you should too. You'll get better at taking care of her if you keep trying.
All of our problems will be solved if you would just help us. Why can't you at least do that for your sister?
Did Abigail tell you about the conversation we had? If you want my help that badly, it will cost you $5,000 a month. If you won't pay me, then you can forget it.
Is money all you care about? This is your sister. I can't believe you'd exploit your own family like this. That's just plain evil.
Who's the greedy one, huh? You're basically trying to get me to do an entire second job for free. Now that's what I call evil. I'm charging money for my services because it's not an easy job. That's all there is to it. You all are the greedy ones because you don't want to pay.
She's your family. She's your sister and you don't even want to help her. That's terrible of you. You grew up together.
There you go again with the family nonsense. If you're trying to guilt trip me into taking care of her because we're family, then what if I just cut ties with you all?
What did you just say? How dare you speak to me like that?
If we're not family anymore, then you'll stop bothering me about this, right? Then maybe you'll finally give it up and stop trying to pull me into this because we're family. I'm cutting you off, the both of you. It's better for all of us.
Wait. That's going too far. How could you even say that to your own mother? Please don't abandon us.
Well, I'm just a bad kid who can't make decisions or get things done, right? I have the choice of either cutting ties with you all or sacrificing myself to help Abigail. Well, guess what? I'm not going to sacrifice myself. So here's my decision. I'm cutting you off. Starting today, I'll block all of you and delete your numbers. Since you all are family, you should all work together and take care of Abigail. Good luck! Not long after that, I changed my phone number, got accepted for a transfer for work, which means I work for a different facility, and I even moved to a new apartment in a whole new city. I've only heard about my family's situation through rumors, but it sounds like they're suffering quite a bit. Abigail's friends went to visit her to cheer her up, but she ended up venting about me and life in general to them the whole time. And before she knew it, none of her friends would reply to her messages or calls. My mom couldn't keep up with how physically demanding taking care of Abigail was, so she ended up hiring a helper. She started a part-time job so she could pay her. No matter how much she worked, the money would disappear so quickly, so she's apparently living quite a depressing life. Regarding Diego, my ex-boyfriend, there's been some nasty rumors circulating about him, too. Everything's true, though. People are talking about how he dated a girl and dumped her for the younger sister, and everyone judged him for that. But when the story about him dumping her after she had to live life in a wheelchair circulated, his reputation tanked. Everyone's treating him like a villain. No one wants to be near him, and all his friends told him that being around him made them feel bad. So in the end, he lost a lot of people around him. I heard that he was asking people for ways to get in touch with me, but because I blocked him, he can't. And thank God for that. I still feel weird about this whole thing, and I'd be lying if I said I still didn't have feelings for him.
but I don't want to talk to him ever again. I'm going to let it go and move on. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like the video and leave a comment. See you in the next one.
Is this Laura?
Yes it is. May I ask who this is?
Of course, this is Steve. I'm supposed to drop by your offices today, actually. Steve Johnson?
Oh, of course, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson of Johnson Materials, correct? We're expecting you at about 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yes, that's correct. I have to meet with the marketing team. Anyways, I'm glad that we were able to connect. I always get a little nervous when I first contact someone with this app. I guess I'm not used to this stuff.
I know what you mean. I'm the same way. I guess you have to grow up with this technology.
Thanks for letting me contact you. I really appreciate it. I almost feel like I was too pushy in doing so. You're not in the middle of anything right now, are you? I'm not interrupting anything. Did I get you at a bad time?
No, don't worry about it. Not at all. It's kind of a slow day over here. Most of the staff is out for a training seminar, so it's kind of dead around here.
Actually, there was something that I wanted to ask you, if it isn't any problem. I wanted to ask you if you would like to join me for dinner sometime. Am I being too forward?
No, not at all. I would be delighted to join you.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. I was wondering what I was going to do if you said no. To tell the truth, I'd been thinking of asking you out for a while now. I'd really love the chance to be able to get to know you better over dinner.
Oh, really? I don't know what to say. Wow, I'm very flattered. Can I ask you what it is about me that you found so interesting?
Well, I guess part of it is your beautiful smile that I love to see every time I go in there. I guess after dealing with all the knuckleheads at the head office all day, to come here and see you, it's kind of nice. I don't know how to put it.
I see. That's too bad that you have a hard time at work. But if I didn't at least try to look happy to see everyone, no one would want to come in. I wouldn't be very good at my job now, would I?
Well, I suppose you wouldn't. If the girl at the reception desk looked like she was going to bite your head off, it would sure be bad for business. She'd be turning most people away.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it, though.
I'd like to be able to get to know you a little more. I haven't had the best of luck in my love life, and God knows I'm not the most romantic person around. Are you free sometime next week?
Yeah, sure. I don't think I have anything going on.
Great. I usually get off work at 6, unless something suddenly comes up. Every once in a while, our customers in Germany call us late in the afternoon about something.
Really? So, do you speak German?
Enough to assure them that they'll get their materials in due time. They're so impatient. You'd think that they were rebuilding the whole country.
Wow, that's impressive. I've always admired people who can speak a foreign language. I can barely remember my high school Spanish.
Yeah, I can't understand why they still make kids learn Spanish these days.
Well, a lot of people speak it.
Yeah, but most of them are construction workers or cleaning ladies. Why would you need to talk to them? If you're going to learn a language, you should learn a useful one with history and culture, like German or French.
Well, that's not a very nice thing to say, is it, Steve? The lady that cleans our office is so nice. We chat all the time. And there's plenty of great books written in Spanish. In fact, I'm reading 100 Years of Solitude right now.
I wish I had time to read a book. I can't remember the last one I read, to be honest.
There's always time for something if you want to do it bad enough.
I suppose. What I want really bad right now is to take you out to dinner.
You're so funny. There's no need to make it sound like it's so hard. I already said yes, right?
Yes, you have, and I'm glad you did. Now, let me see. I'm thinking where exactly we can meet. Should we meet somewhere near 6th Avenue?
Okay, sure. I get out of work at 6 most days too, so that'll work out fine. Why don't we meet at some place in between our offices? There's a lot of places to eat in the area.
That sounds good. Okay, later on. I'll call just to confirm, okay? I think I'm going to take you to this oyster bar that opened last year. The oysters there are so good. Oh my god, you need to try it.
Oh, I should tell you that I'm not that big on oysters, to be honest.
You're not? Really?
To tell you the truth, I've never had it before. But the thing is, I don't know. I guess I don't find raw seafood that appetizing. I mean, I don't mean to put anyone down who likes it. Any meat or fish that's not cooked, I'm not crazy about.
I can't believe you haven't tried it before. I tried oyster a while back when I was in California on business. The people we were there with took us to a really fancy place.
So you basically had to eat it, huh? I just don't feel the need to. Can we just go somewhere else, please? There are so many great places we could go that have cooked food.
I hope you don't mean burgers and fries. Well, apparently oysters aren't happening, right? I do know a good Indian place not too far from here, actually. It's a bit of a walk from your office, so I can pick you up.
Indian?
Yeah, don't tell me you've never had Indian before. It's Indian as in the country India, not Indians like Apache or Navajo.
I know that much, gosh. But I can't say that I've had Indian food, Steve. I'm afraid I'm just a simple American girl with simple tastes. A regular meat and potatoes type of girl.
I guess so, but listen, why don't we just go to the Indian place? Trust me, you're gonna love it.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I do. I'm gonna decide for you because I'm sure you'll like it.
I could do just as well with a pastrami grinder and fries. There's this cozy place I know.
We can't go to a diner. You're kidding, right? The guys that clean this building go to diners. Listen, I gotta get to a meeting. Let me get back to you about where to meet. I'll reserve a table for 2 at the Indian place.
But... Okay, sure, thanks.
I think I can actually pick you up in my car on the day.
That sounds great. Look forward to seeing you then.
Right, well, see you then.
Thanks for the dinner the other day. I had a great time.
Did you like the food?
Yeah, it was nice. I can't say that it was my absolute favorite, but it was an experience.
See, I knew you'd like it. Listen to me and you'll be fine.
Well, thanks for taking me.
No, I should thank you. I'd been wanting to ask you out for a while. I had a really great time. Can we do this again sometime?
Of course, I'd like that.
Great. I was thinking that this time maybe we could go out to the Cape, spend the weekend. My family would always vacation there when we were kids. We can stay at their place. No one's there now. Ever been?
No, I haven't. I've only seen the ocean a couple times.
Well, that settles it then. How's next weekend?
Hey, I was thinking maybe we should take things a little slower. I mean, I don't know. Why don't we have dinner a couple more times together? Get to know each other a bit more. Plus, you're the CEO of a firm that we do business with. I just feel like we should ease into things.
Don't worry about that. What we have is between us. Work has nothing to do with it. Besides, I'm the CEO. As far as getting to know one another, I think we did just fine over dinner the other night.
Well, I don't know. I just think...
What's a better way to get to know each other than spending the weekend together on the Cape? The dunes on the beach are awesome. My folks' place is right on the beach with an incredible view. Perfect to kick back and drink a bottle of wine.
I don't know how to say this, Steve, but I think you're super nice, but I don't think I'm quite ready to spend the night together. Sorry, I don't know how else to say it.
Oh, that, right. Don't worry about that. My dad's place out there has a guest room for you can stay in. I'll sleep on the couch in the living room. We'll have a great time. All the tourists are gone this time of year, so we'll have the beach all to ourselves. And the restaurants that are open year-round are the best.
Well, I guess.
Great. Listen, it's best if we get an early start. If you don't mind, I can pick you up at around 7:30 in the morning.
Okay, is there anything I should take with me? I've never been out there.
just your cute little self. No, just kidding. Not really. We can stop by the supermarket and pick up some food. I think my dad keeps the place pretty well stocked with alcohol, though, so we won't want for that.
Oh, well, I'm not much of a drinker anyway.
No? That's a shame. Dad is quite the wine connoisseur and has a lot of good wine in the house. When we get back to Boston, you'll be a drinking lady for sure. There'll be hardly anyone around this time of year, so it'll just be you and me.
Yeah, that should be nice, I guess.
All right then, I'll call you midweek to check up on things, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Laura, I dropped by the other day, but you weren't in. Where were you? I was expecting to see you.
What day did you come by?
Last Wednesday at about 3. You want to tell me where you were?
Oh, right. I was on my break. I usually take a break with the girls at about 3.
Nice to know. You never told me that. I went out of my way just to come over to see you, you know?
Sorry, Steve. I didn't know you were going to come by. You should have called me first. I can always change the time.
Oh, so now I need to make an appointment to see you? You seemed perfectly happy to chat with that guy from the gym who's always milling around there.
No, of course not. Don't be silly. You can come by any time. And listen, it's my job to be courteous to people, right? Gosh, what's got into you?
Nothing's got to me. I thought you ducked out to do some shopping or something, or see someone.
You think I'd do something like that? I'm an honest girl. And besides, who would I be meeting? Hey, listen, my dad just texted me and he said he's free on Thursday. He said that he can make some time for us. Why don't we go out to my parents' house on Thursday then?
Thursday? I suppose. What time do you want to head up?
Well, it's way up near the Canadian border, so it's probably a good 4-hour drive from Boston.
Wow. What was it like to grow up in a place like that out in the sticks? Oh, I can't even imagine. I'd be bored to tears. Do you guys even have the internet way up there?
We have the internet, Steve. We have everything we need to live a good life. But I gotta admit, growing up, all I thought about was getting out of here and getting a job in Boston or New York. But nowadays, I love going back and walking in the woods or going fishing with my dad. Funny how it works. I love the Northeast Kingdom. That's what we call that part of the state. The people there are so independent.
Well, I guess they're not too independent to take federal money to keep that place from going to pot, huh? My old man's done work up there, building a VA hospital, all paid for with government money.
Wow, okay, Steve, I don't know what to say to that. People are nice up there. Anyway, I just hope you can enjoy yourself when you're up there.
I'm just stating a fact is all. Laura, I hope it doesn't offend you. But hey, listen, is Thursday really a good day? I mean, doesn't your dad have work? He's gonna take a day off just to meet us? My schedule is pretty flexible, but...
Oh no, it's no problem. He works from home and can set his own schedule, so it's no problem.
Oh, right, okay.
And my mom, she runs this little cafe in town, but she basically does it as a hobby. It's pretty dead in the off-season anyways, so she'll probably just close up on the day we come up. During the foliage season and in the summer, she gets busy though.
I could never understand why anyone would want to drive hours through the sticks just to look at dead leaves.
Well, there's a lot you don't know about Vermont, Steve. But my mom, you'll love her. She's so sweet and easy to talk to. My dad's quieter, but he's really friendly.
I'm still gonna get nervous, though.
Don't get nervous. Actually, your mom kind of reminds me of mine. You're gonna be fine.
That's easy for you to say. I'm the one that has to ask for your hand in marriage.
They know we've been seeing each other for a year now. I don't think they're exactly gonna be surprised.
I know, it's just that I've never met them before.
Trust me, it's gonna be fine. Try to enjoy yourself while we're there. It's such a beautiful place. So different from Boston. Have you ever been up to Vermont before?
I drove through it one time with my buddies on my way to a concert in Montreal.
Yeah, I don't suppose you've eaten fresh venison then?
No, can't say that I have.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Dad is gonna have shot at deer, and that's what Mom will serve up for lunch, along with other stuff, of course.
Venison?
Trust me, you'll love it. If you like steak, then you'll like venison.
Okay, if you say so.
You will. So, can you pick me up at South Station at 8?
Sure, that puts us right around lunchtime.
Yeah, I'm really excited, Steve. You're finally going to meet my parents. I just know you're going to have a great time.
I am too, Laura. I just hope I don't mess this up.
Will you stop? Anyway, I gotta meet Julie for yoga, so I'll see ya.
Okay, baby, have a good one. Bye.
Bye. Steve, what's going on? You haven't answered my calls at all.
Oh, hey, sorry, listen, I'll get right to the point. So, yeah, the wedding is off. I can't do it.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about? I'm talking about what I saw up in Vermont.
What you saw up in Vermont? Can you be more specific? What did you see that's made you not want to take my calls for days?
You guys live in a hovel, for crying out loud. In the woods. It was like goddamn Daniel Boone land. What the hell?
What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. The house? What about it?
The house, the area. I mean, Laura, I need to marry someone more or less of the same background. I guess I know now why you wanted to get out of there so bad. I can't marry someone like you. I mean, what were you thinking? I can't take someone of your background as my wife?
I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. Steve, please tell me you're joking. Where is this coming from?
I'm not joking. You expect me to marry you? I'm not from that world. Our family's not a bunch of hicks. I'm starting to think that you want to marry me for money more than anything. Is that what you're after? It's clear to me now, actually. Your dad doesn't work, and your mom is the one who ekes out a living for your family, isn't she? I've gotta say, you've done a good job of hiding where you came from. You've even managed to become quite well-spoken.
Steve, you better be careful with what you're saying because you're way the hell off base. How dare you say that about my parents?
Look, I'm just calling it as I see it. It's a good thing I found out before we got hitched. It's gonna save us a whole lot of trouble. I can't marry just any riffraff. I'm gonna have to carry on the Johnson legacy someday, and I need a wife who is from the same social class as I am.
Oh my god. Wow. You really are showing your true colors now, aren't you, Steve? So now I know what's important to you. God, I feel like a fool. The whole time we were having lunch, you were looking down on us in our own home, thinking we were riffraff and hicks?
Hey, listen, all I know is that the wedding is off now. Like I said, it's a good thing that I found out beforehand.
Found out about me? Oh, don't worry. We can call the wedding off, that's for damn sure. We're way past that, Steve. Don't talk to me when you come by the company.
Oh, believe me, I won't, so don't get all angry at me. I'm the one who should be angry. What would I want with a hick from the North Woods who's after my money? So long, hick. In fact, don't go telling anyone that we were dating for a whole year. If it gets out that I was going to marry some hick from Vermont, I'd never live that down.
Wow, Steve. You were such a sweetheart in the beginning, weren't you? Attentive, romantic, and the rest of it. Now you come to me with this, and I can see how ugly you are inside.
Whatever, Laura. You're the one who never told me that you were dirt poor. It's all about compatibility, babe. You'd never be able to fit into my world. I have a certain reputation to uphold. How am I going to introduce you to my friends and take you to parties? I mean, take your dad. He barely said a word while we were visiting. Unless it's about hunting or the weather, he's got nothing to say. It was embarrassing.
Steve, you have no friggin' idea what you're saying. It makes me sad almost. Not that you're way off base, but to know that that is who you are. What a waste it's been.
Yeah, it's been a waste of my goddamn time. I feel cheated. Anyway, the wedding is off, and don't even talk to me, as I still have to go over to your company.
Okay, Steve.
Thanks for nothing. This is Mr. Beaumont, Laura's father. I'm sorry for contacting you out of the blue like this. I'm not so sure why you're calling me. How can I help you? Well, there are a couple of things I'd like to clear up. Sir, I've already spoken to Laura, and the wedding is off. I've nothing further to say to anyone about it. I understand that, but there are just a couple of things I want to tell you, in fairness to my daughter. What? I think you're misconstruing things, and quite badly, too. Laura told me about your misgivings about her upbringing and social class. Our family was quite taken aback. Oh, well, sir, I don't know what you want from me. Steve, I just want to set you straight, for your own sake. With all due respect, I think I saw all I needed to see while I was there. From the look of things, it didn't even look like you had a job, or had one for a while. See, that is the first of your misperceptions, son. Don't judge a book by its cover. And speaking of books, I'm a writer, not a bum as you implied to Laura. Well, I suppose anyone can call themselves a writer these days, now can't they? I've written a blog before, so I guess I'm a writer too, right? I write for a living. Actually, Steve, I've been on the New York Times bestseller list, if you need to know. In fact, my wife and I could easily retire with the royalties I make. Laura works down in Boston because, well, she wants to experience city life. She has a trust fund, so if she didn't want to work, she wouldn't have to. When we pulled up to your house, it sure didn't look like the house of a famous writer, I can tell you that. Again, Steve, you are off the mark. Steve, let me ask you something. When you were up, did you notice in the distance a rather large group of horses, and back in that bluish house? I think I saw you looking at it while we were dining. I did. What of it? Well, Steve, that's our house. The place where we all had lunch, that's actually where I go to write. I'm in the middle of a book and decided to meet you there, which I admit I don't usually do. Our house is worth more than your little company is, just so you know. Steve, let me put it to you another way. Laura, who you refer to as a hick, already has more money than you will ever hope to. How do I know that you aren't just making this up, and you aren't really some hick trying to impress me? I think you're feeding me a bunch of bull, is what I think. Prove it, then. That's quite easily done, actually, and it won't be pleasant to hear, either. Well, what are you talking about? What makes me sad, though, Steve, is that I know your dad. We went to Brown together. You know my father? Are you serious? I do. Robbie Johnson, class of '68 at Brown. Good man. All right, so you know my father. Big deal. Some years ago, your family's company was in some serious financial difficulties, wasn't it? Yeah, but how do you know that? Well, you recall that your company received some 11th hour financing that kept it from bankruptcy. I heard our finance team put it together. I was a student then, so I don't know the details. But how did you know this? How do you think I know this? Steve, there is a lot that you don't know. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Ask your old man. Tell him you talked to me, Matthew Beaufort. And please, just give him my regards. Hey, Laura, how are you doing?
You want to know how I am doing. It doesn't take much imagination to know how I'm doing after the other day.
Hey, look, I'm really sorry about the other day. I was way out of line. I don't know what to say.
What do you want, Steve? You called me up just to say that?
Well, I was just sorry is all. Actually, your dad called me after that.
My dad? He called you?
Yeah, and it looks like I really made a big mistake. And, you know, calling you a hick and making fun of where you live and all. I had no idea that your father was a famous author.
Well, you do now.
Actually, it turns out that he loaned my dad the money a while ago when our business was in trouble. I had no idea. Did you know that?
I was faintly aware of it, I suppose.
I didn't realize how much money he loaned my dad. Not even the bank would have financed that much.
Well, his books have been translated into 25 languages and are used in curriculum in colleges. The royalties sure do add up.
Damn, wow. I guess I really messed up. Listen, I don't know what came over me then. I'm so sorry.
You're a prick is what came over you.
Hey, come on, I really am so sorry. Can't a guy get a second chance?
A second chance? Why, so you can marry the daughter of a rich man? Envisioning the rich life now, are we? A chalet at J Peak and all that?
No, ever since our breakup, I've realized that I can't live without you.
Without me or without my money? Steve, you're so transparent, it's not even funny. How do you even have the nerve to call me like this?
I want us to get back together. I mean it.
And the fact that my dad is loaded has nothing to do with it, right?
Well, I mean, no. Well, sure, it crosses my mind, but...
Steve, you are pathetic. Listen, I wouldn't marry you if you came crawling up to Vermont all the way from Boston. The only connection we have now is that your father is in hock to my family for more money than you'll ever make in your life. And to think you actually thought I lived in a hovel, as you put it? You better pay us back every cent we lent you, or you and your family will be living in one for real.
Hey, take it easy. Why are you so angry?
Are you stupid as well? You disrespect my family after dining in our house. My mom spent the whole morning preparing lunch for us with the deer my dad went out and shot himself. They were so nice to you, and then you turn around and insult them. You don't even have the guts to tell me face to face. You know, I should have listened to that voice inside me. There were so many signs along the way that this wasn't going to go right.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? The demeaning things you said about where I'm from, about people who aren't like you, the way you would accuse me of meeting people when I was just on break at work, all those things just scream insecurity. Even when you first asked me out, can you remember?
Yes, we went out to eat.
Yeah, after making fun of me for not having tried oysters or Indian food. You just went right ahead and decided that we were going to have Indian food, never mind that I hated it. You never thought to ask me what I might like to have. You never did. And then when I suggested we go to a diner where my dad would sometimes take me, you said something disparaging again.
I was just kidding around.
Just kidding around. Right. But not just that, Steve. Asking me to spend the night at your parents' place on the Cape, which they should have sold to pay us back, when they weren't there, and lying to me about a guest room that wasn't there either.
But you didn't say anything at the time.
I didn't say anything at the time because I was so taken aback. I mean, who does that? I had told you that I wanted to take things slow, but again, you didn't respect my feelings. That ruined the whole trip.
I didn't think it would be such a big deal. You could have said something if it bothered you so much.
I was afraid you'd kick me out and I'd have to sleep on the beach, that's why. I mean, you accused me of ducking out to meet someone when I was just taking a break at work. I didn't know what you were gonna do.
I can't believe you're bringing all of this up. That was such a long time ago.
In your mind, maybe. But all that lodged in my mind, and I should have listened to my inner voice. But like all jerks, you managed to charm me and paper things over with your crap, and I, like a little fool, fell for it. How stupid I was, damn! I feel like such a fool for not trusting my instincts. But thanks to my dad deciding to have us meet in his writing den, I was able to come to my senses. If we had met at the regular house, I would have gone and married you and made the biggest mistake of my life. It's funny how little things can change the course of our lives, isn't it? That fact that my dad is in the middle of writing a book and decided to have lunch in his den was what saved me.
Come on, Laura. I don't know what came over me then.
No, it's okay, Steve. I'm so glad I could see you for who you really are. I feel lucky in a way. What would I have done if I'd gone and married an inconsiderate loser like you? Looking back, now I can really see how you treated me with no respect or consideration.
Oh, come on, Laura. I didn't mean all that. I was having a hard time at work.
There you go again, trying to spin things your way. I'm not going to fall for it. You are a loser, and I should have come to my senses long ago. No wonder you were so desperate to ask me out that first time. You probably couldn't get any other woman to go out with you. They all saw through you to see that you were a loser.
You don't have to be such a witch about it. Okay, you're rich. You're still a witch.
Yep, I sure am. And I'm gonna curse you to damnation. I think I'm gonna ask my father to speed up the repayment schedule that your daddy has to pay us back. Yeah, Steve, I know about these things. I majored in finance, remember? And my dad will listen to me.
You're not gonna do that.
Oh, but I will. Don't worry. You'll probably have to sell your house and maybe try living in a hovel for real.
You just try that and see what happens.
Oh, Steve, stop with the threats, you pissant. You won't have a pot to piss in come next hunting season. No venison for you. And one last thing. All the girls in the office think you're a loser. Let that sink in. Bye now. That was the last time I had contact with Steve. His company and his dad ended up having to speed up their payments to my father. Actually, they'd been behind on their payments for quite a while despite taking vacations to Florida and Costa Rica, something we found out later. His company had been mismanaged for a while. My father had actually given their company some extra time to pay us back. But when I told my dad what Steve did to me, he decided to tell them he wanted them to start making payments again, or else face penalties. This put them over the edge, and not long after that, they went bankrupt. We still recovered our money. As for Steve, I'm not sure what has happened to him. Recently, I moved back home to Vermont and met a great guy who treats me right. I did waste a year of my life with Steve, but I'm so glad his true colors came out before the wedding. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe.